Good day, Pinoy Clicksers and Mixers. Welcome back to the channel. And if you don't know the name, remember it. Let's go! Okay, so after that heartstring pulling, gut wrenching episode of X-Men 97, you know what I mean, we're going to look at the man, the myth, the legend, Gambit. Okay, so you can see some of my Gambit collection in Heroclix form. I actually have all the Gambit, but I did not take out all of them like the one in the team bases. But this is the Gambit in first form in Heroclix from the explosion set. Okay, so he is a rookie in this particular scope. Okay, so you can see the scope is not so good, but the eyes are there, the cards and the stick. Okay, and of course the trench coat. I don't know what card he is holding. Okay, and yeah, so you can clearly see Gambit is one of those characters that you can make a lot of dynamic poses because of all the accessories that he has, the coach, the stick, and the cards. Okay, so they did justice to this particular Gambit. Unfortunately, this does not have a card. It was the time where Heroclix did not have carded figures. Okay, but this is the OG Heroclix Gambit. Okay, so we also have here another figure. Okay, and this one is already carded. This is Gambit / Rogue. Okay, so the love team itself of Gambit and his Mon Ami Rogue. Okay, so you can see that Rogue copying Gambit's charging power through touch. Okay, so as you know, Gambit can, what you call this, how do we phrase his power? Can charge up and store kinetic energy to objects. Okay, so this is a chase, I guess, in that particular set number 58. I do have the card for that, and we can take a look at it quickly. Gambit Rogue X-Men Final Kiss. Once during the game on your turn, as a free action, you may choose that Gambit Rogue can't use the duo attack ability or special powers for the rest of the game. If you do, heal them 2 clicks and remove all action tokens from them. So it's the time of duo attack. I don't know that mechanic, but I guess you can make 2 actions. Sugar and Spice is that special attack power. The character can use Force Blast and Penetrating Psychic Blast. When they use either one after his action resolve, they may use it again as a free action if they take one unavoidable damage after that resolve. So I guess that mimics the copying of the power. And a special damage power, Gambit Rogue can use Outwit, targeting only adjacent characters. If they do and they counter a standard power, Gambit can use that countered power until your next turn. So like Rogue absorbing the power of the outwitted character. And that makes sense. The character can't use it, and then it gets transferred to Rogue for a time. Your real name is Remy Lavu and Anna Marie, quote unquote. And you can see them just casually romanticizing each other. Lovey-dovey. Okay, so I really love their love team. Okay, so because of course Rogue is one of the Soul 3 X-Men, and of course Gambit being that average Joe wanting to get the love of his life. Okay. Okay, we see Gambit next in this particular figure. Okay, this actually came before the duo figure. And this is Gambit with the Marauders, Mutant, and X-Men keywords. So you can see here, he is jumping on top of the Sentinels and throwing his cards. Okay, you can even actually see the cards are all aces, I think. Spade, diamonds, and hearts. And another dynamic pose from Gambit. Okay. And we can see here Shadowy attack. Gambit can use lip climb, running shot, and stealth. And Kajun Charm is the special damage power. Gambit can use perplex, but he must be 4 or fewer squares from the target. So maximum 4, I guess. So a bit of an info. Real name Remy. First appearance Uncanny X-Men. Background kidnapped at birth. Remy was raised as Le Diable Blanc, the one prophesied to unite the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild. Sent away after killing his fiance's brother, as Lebu wandered the world, he discovered he had a power to manipulate kinetic energy. So yeah, kinetic energy, manipulate and store it, I guess. He could charge up objects with kinetic energy that he could not control without the help of Mr. Sinister. While working for Sinister, he encountered members of the team he would eventually join, the X-Men. Years later, he would become one of the Horsemen, the Heralds of Apocalypse. Okay. Oh, I actually have that Heroclix figure where he became Death and the Herald of Apocalypse. And that might be the storyline they might take in X-Men 97. Okay, so for those of you who haven't watched the episode, I think you have to pause this video and watch that. But for those of you who did, you know the unlucky, unfortunate fate that Gambit had at the end of the show, of the episode. Okay, he died basically. So there might be a way to bring him back via time travel, of course. And another thing is that via Apocalypse intervening and making him perhaps a horseman. Okay, the death horseman. Okay, remember Cable was talking about that he might be Apocalypse for all we know, and he might become the horseman of Apocalypse, herald of Apocalypse. Okay. Okay. So I did not include that piece as well here, but I do have it from the Regenesis set. And the next time we saw Gambit is from the animated series set, Dark Phoenix. So this is what we usually get to see in the show. Okay, not so dynamic, the sculpt. He's just holding charge up cards. The stick is missing. Okay, so not the best sculpt for Gambit. But he does have the X-Men Assassin Martial Artist keywords. Okay, and a special movement power, the name's Gambit. Remember it. Okay, so I like this figure. The name's Gambit. Remember it. Running shot and stealth. And a special attack power, 5 card stud, jacks or better to open. Energy explosion. When Gambit uses it, the roll, if the roll is doubles and hits, increase the damage dealt to all hit characters by +1. So it's like a critical, not a critical hit, but semi-critical hit because it increases the damage by +1. Okay, remember it. Okay, so X-Men animated series, Externally Yours is the significant appearance. Okay, for 65 points, Gambit. Okay, and the show really highlighted that Gambit is a very powerful mutant, perhaps an Omega level mutant. I think all of the what you call this, of the main cast, okay, are really powerful. Of course, Storm, they showed it in one episode, but Gambit as well. So even Magneto had a hard time dealing with that Sentinel, but Gambit had to sacrifice himself, was able to blow up that Master Mold, that, how do we call it, that Wild Sentinel. Okay, so this is Gumbo. And finally, the latest Gambit that we had came from the House of X. Okay, you can see that he went back to a more dynamic pose, jumping pose, throwing cards in the air, and a more modern uniform. Okay, so he has the Excalibur, X-Men, Martial Artist, Mystical Spy keywords, trait, Excalibur, Mystical Protectors, Mystics, but only against range, and Gambit is protected Mystics himself. Special movement, I ain't sure why you need a thief, running shot stealth. Okay, you can see that true and true Gambit is a master con artist and not just martial artist but also a con artist and a thief. And a special attack power. Oh, it ain't magic. Energy explosion, precision strike, free. Make an attack but only to target a single non-standard character. Only, I guess, tiny giants and colossals. Okay, so Excalibur number 5 has been going to Otherworld in the recent comics together with Apocalypse. So, yeah, there's definitely a connection between him and Apocalypse. So, what do you guys think? I had to do a highlight of Gambit because the last episode was so devastating to say the least as an X-Men fan. But I know the writers will do us right for one way or another. Death is not permanent in the comics and in the show. So until the next episode, bye bye.